Yes, those are live fish in the background. Anyways, I wanted to just take a quick second to kind of tell you what some of the inspiration is behind this book here, my Echo Island series. This is the first one that I finished, planned out of 5 that I've got now outlined. Plan to get another one done later this year, and that'll be the second one. When I first started writing the story, to be totally honest, I wasn't quite sure what to do, and I don't know where the inspiration came, but I came across some Irish folklore and I started reading it, and I loved it. And I can't tell you too much because I don't want to spoil things in here, but a lot of the motivation for the series comes from Celtic, specifically Irish folklore. You don't find them until later in the book, but one of the main driving forces behind this entire story comes from a people called the Tuatha De Danann. And they were, honestly, it's hard to say what they were. In simple terms, they were a Celtic race of people that lived in Ireland before the modern Irish lived there. And they didn't have a whole lot of records. And so we don't actually know a whole lot about them that's concrete. We do have some information, like Julius Caesar himself wrote accounts of meeting the Tuatha De Danann as well as other Celtic people. And that's where we get a lot of the information we know about Celtic people, but it's hard to say how much of that is 100% accurate because he also was at war with them constantly. So there's a good chance he didn't write things the way that they truly were, or he didn't even see the best of them. On the other hand, getting away from history books, just going through like stories that were given through oral tradition through Ireland over thousands of years, really, there are lots of stories about the Tuatha De Danann, and one of the popular myths or legends is that the modern Irish fairies that live in Ireland are descendants of the Tuatha De Danann, or maybe even the Tuatha De Danann, as they are considered in a lot of texts to be immortal. And for whatever reason, that caught my attention like crazy. So I went ahead and started writing, as if, I was like, what if there was a world where the Tuatha De Danann had gone underground, which is what the Irish mythology says. They went underground and became the Irish fairies. They got smaller and whatnot. But what if they went back to their homeworld? And what if that homeworld was a place called... I may have just spoiled too much right there. So if that is bleeped out, that's why. But the point is, what if there was a place where the Tuatha De Danann and humans interacted, but it wasn't on Earth. It was a different place altogether. And that's where the story takes place. It's Callum O'Brien, he's a 15-year-old boy, and he starts finding some strange things. And like I said, it's not a direct contact with the Tuatha De Danann, but it is inspired by it. And there are some parts where eventually they do show up. So if that's something that interests you, I know I find it incredibly interesting. I'm always doing more research. In fact, I just read a bunch of stories on the Tuatha De Danann, and I was like, dang it, I should have read those before I wrote this whole book. But there will always be more stories, so hopefully I'll be able to work those into the next couple books. Until then, this is a good story. I like it. I've had a lot of people read it. I've been getting some good reviews. If you haven't already checked it out, take a moment to go do so. If the audiobook isn't out when you're seeing this, know that it is on its way. Should be done by the end of April 2024. So yeah, hope you enjoy it. Again, as always, if you have any questions or you just want to talk about the book, I am so down. Get on my website. I'm on it every day. So yeah, I'll check comments. I look for messages. I will respond. That's a promise. Pinky swear. All right. Peace out.